In today's session of Divorce Court, Sherry Fortune says when she saw Kerry, she saw a man that could take care of her needs.
Your Honor, I was 35. I was in heat. I got me a young man
Your Honor.
that I thought they can satisfy my needs. My hormones was there.
You thought if you got you a younger man, he could handle you because
Rock the boat.
he could go overtime with you.
But now she says he's run out of gas and she wants out.
He was lazy. All he did was sleep all the time. Every time I come home, I'm like, he done broke the world record of sleeping all the time, from morning to night to day to evening, every day.
Today, Sherry Fortune faces Kerry Fortune one last time in divorce court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is a matter of Kerry Fortune versus Sherry Fortune. And I'm advised, Mr. Fortune, that your marriage became a misfortune for you 10 months afterwards.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Within 10 months.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
I was trapped into getting married. It was a misfortune within a day.
Within a day?
He was not trapped.
What do you mean
to get married.
trapped into getting
He was
married?
not
You
trapped.
made a decision to marry. Somebody forced you to marry him?
Your Honor,
We
look
had
what's
discussed-
causing-
we had discussed
how can
marriage,
I force him to
going
marry
up
Well,
me?
there.
maybe he's going to explain it to me if you let him.
We had discussed getting married. We had known each other only 2 months. We had went to Vegas. Immediately upon arriving in Vegas, she got thoroughly drunk.
What's thoroughly drunk?
Well, we had taken a full gallon of vodka, some Kahlua,
Ooh.
some other things. I
call that blasted.
hadn't drank any. Between her and her best friend, they had drank almost 3/4 of a gallon of vodka.
Driving?
No. Once we arrived at the hotel.
Okay.
I wouldn't allow anybody
So
to
no
be
drinking
in the
and
vehicle.
driving?
No.
Now, how you
At
gonna
the
sit up there and
hotel,
say
you
you
got
wouldn't
that
allow
drunk.
somebody to drink in the car?
Well, since I have been
But
known
it's
to
not
do
an
that.
issue.
It's not an issue. It doesn't make any difference. The whole point is that she got so drunk that she was threatening and fighting with her best friend, the hotel staff, the valet people, all of that, to the extent that her best friend caught the next flight home within like an hour or two of being there.
And
Her
while
best
she's
friend
so
left.
drunk, what are you doing?
I went downstairs. I didn't
Gambling?
realize they had started drinking. I'd gone downstairs to eat because they had ate on the way up and I hadn't. I went downstairs to eat at a buffet. I came back upstairs and they were just lost. At that point, I decided I was not getting married by any means.
Did you go there with the intent to marry?
I went there with the idea. It was something that we had been discussing. It wasn't a definite plan. It was more of a vacation.
So you
why
just
did
gonna
we-
figure
no,
it
it
out when
wasn't.
you got there whether you get married or not?
No, it wasn't.
I was
Let's
in
just
love
take
with
a
the
ride,
idea.
flip a coin, decide when we get to Vegas. Are we gonna marry? We'll take a gamble. Is that it?
No, ma'am. I wanted to get married with her prior to, but upon the things that had happened there in
Oh,
Vegas.
after she got drunk, you changed your mind.
I decided that wasn't something I wanted
Yeah,
to do.
right.
But you did get married.
Yes,
Anyway.
ma'am. Because I felt forced to. I had no choice.
Force? How
Oh,
can I
come
force
on.
you as big
Miss
as you
Fortune,
are?
tell me, how did
Please.
you force him to do
You
that?
tell me, how can I force him like his lips are slinky? I
I
can
don't
force
know.
him to do it, please.
Especially if you were
Your
drunk,
Honor,
it
that
seems
is
like
not
you
how
were-
it started.
Okay.
It started on the way going. We got hungry. We went to a restaurant. He just wanted this big extra large shake. They
Your Honor, she had
refused to
already
give
been
it
to
to
a
him.
restaurant.
No, they refused to give it to him.
Hold on a second. You mean he was trying to buy an extra large shake and the proprietor refused to sell him what
yes.
he wanted?
So he gets upset about that. On the way going,
I would too.
On the way going, we listening to some love-making music, which that's the type of music
Getting into
I
the
enjoy.
romantic mood.
I wouldn't say that. For 3 hours, we listened to that type of music. All of a sudden, he said, turn the music off. And I said, no, this is what I want to listen to. All of a sudden, he gets an attitude. He takes the car. He throws it up in parking and gets out. And I'm saying to myself, here we are in the desert. He walks away, I don't know how far, and start throwing things. I'm thinking, oh, now he unthrow the keys. So my friend said, no, he is tripping. He is tripping. Don't make me cuss him out. We in the car with the windows all rolled up, suffocating. It's already hot. We in the desert.
So it's an electric car and you couldn't
It
let
was
the
an
windows
electric
down?
car, and he instead
not
of
an
him,
electric
instead
car,
of
but
him
the windows
just
were
saying,
electric.
you know, I really don't want to listen to this type of music. Can you guys change the station or put in something much faster?
This is his response just to music that
To
you were listening
music.
to?
Okay,
Excuse
so
me,
on the way going, we get there. I'm like, oh, what I'm finna get myself into. Now I am upset because I'm hungry. Oh, yes, I go.
And don't mess with a hungry woman.
I go
right?
up into the room, and yes, I open up the bottle, and I got to drinking.
Well, how did you get to Las Vegas if he got out of the car, walked a long distance, you didn't have the keys, you forgot to tell me that part?
No, he got over that little
And what was he
incident,
throwing at the car?
I'm sorry?
Oh, he was throwing something, but you didn't know what it was.
He was throwing rocks. I'm not sure what he was throwing, but I was thinking he was throwing the keys.
Oh, okay.
But
so
I was
he
like,
was getting rid of his anger, perhaps.
He was getting rid of the anger.
Yeah.
Okay, so he comes back, and we continue going. So, yes, I'm upset. I'm hungry. We done travel how many hours? 3-4 hours, and I don't have anything in my stomach. Don't have anything to snack on. But you're going to get mad because they wouldn't give you a shake.
So when you got to Las Vegas, you got drunk?
I went up to the room, and yes, I bust open the bottle.
But I thought you were hungry.
I'm sorry?
But I thought you were hungry. Why didn't you go get some food?
Because I was more focusing on how he had got so upset because they wouldn't give him a shake.
But I'm saying, but if you were so upset because you couldn't get your food when you got there, where there was plenty of food and they give it to you dirt cheap
first.
in Las Vegas, why didn't you
I did the drinking first, then I went and got the food.
Oh, so then you needed a drink.
I had to have it because I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
And after one drink led to the second drink, and the next thing you know, you were drunk?
I was there.
Blasted.
I was there. I was there feeling good and wasn't around him.
Was this your first tour together?
This was our first
time you were in a car that long together, that many hours?
Yes.
So then you got to know what each other was really like.
Your Honor.
Is that right?
Somewhat.
On your way to get married. Just now figuring out what you're like.
Get married.
Your Honor,
That's a shame.
she wasn't listening to love-making music. She's listening to women hate men music. All right?
So
she
it
was
mustn't
listening,
apply
you better
to
come
you.
get your crap and get out.
That's right.
You know?
That's
so
right.
if that's
So it
love-making
mustn't
music,
apply
I don't
to
know
you.
what it
You
is.
didn't like it.
Misfortune. Hold it now.
Also, she said that she didn't eat. While I was filling up the tank with gas, she went into a fast food restaurant and got chicken. She got a 3-piece chicken meal and sat there and ate.
After we
drove
left the other
right
place.
across the street to another burger place for me to get a burger. She didn't bring nothing out for me. For me to get a burger.
You should have got me something to eat.
We drove right across the street for me to get a burger. She had chicken in her lap, and she's hollering about, I'm hungry, I want a burger.
Well, she wanted chicken and a burger.
She wanted chicken and a burger. That's why I said we didn't want nothing. She already had food. It wasn't like I denied her the ability to eat.
Yes, he did.
Wait a minute.
I mean, look at the woman. She can eat, but, you know.
You cannot talk.
When divorce court returns, Sherry testifies about what attracted her to Kerry.
Your Honor, I was 35. I was in heat. I got me a young man
Your Honor.
that I thought that can satisfy my needs.
You thought if you got you a younger man, he could handle you because you...
Rock the boat.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce court is back in the case of Kerry Fortune, who says his wife Sherry trapped him into marrying her.
So you're telling me that this marriage, in 10 months, this marriage has come to an end over food and drink?
No, it didn't.
No, ma'am.
It
came to an end because she knows how to push my buttons. She knows I have an anger problem.
He has anger. He has a problem.
One at a time.
She knows that I do have a problem with anger, and I'm a rather large guy.
Yes, you are.
But knowing that, I have also learned to go out and focus my anger by throwing rocks out in the middle of the desert instead of taking it out on a person.
So that's what you would do.
All right. She just told you I did.
Well, she said she thinks you were throwing rocks.
Well, I
didn't
went
show the
somewhere
whole
else to
side of
focus
it
my
until
anger
later.
rather than taking it out on a person.
And I applaud you for that.
Over the course of time, she keeps pushing my buttons and keeps pushing my buttons.
Well,
like you're doing now,
Give me an
Mrs.
example.
Fortune. Just like you're doing, hold on a second, just like you're doing now. Yelling and screaming at him in his face when he's trying to talk.
Your Honor, you don't understand what this man has done to me.
Fine,
okay?
well.
I'm the one going through the hurt. The way he treated me, I did not deserve that. Okay? I took him into my
Your Honor,
house.
can I finish
I
what I
gave
was
a
saying?
roof over
Hold on.
his head. Okay? I was the one that paying the bill. I wasn't brought in this world to take care of a man.
She wasn't even working
he was
when we
lazy.
got married.
All he did was sleep all the time. Every time I come home, I'm like, he done broke the world record of sleeping all the time, from morning to night to day to evening, every day. He didn't want to get up and go to work, and every time I asked him to get up and go to work, he didn't want to work. Every time I say, take out the trash, what do he do with the trash? Oh, can you put the trash in front of the door? Why do I have to put the trash in front of the door for you to take it out? You see, it's over for.
But you should have checked all that out before. It wouldn't take long to find out that somebody's lazy, like to sleep, especially when they can break the world record.
He didn't show that part in the beginning. He was a different type of person.
In 2 months, you didn't give him time to show much of anything. Anybody can pretend.
Your Honor, I was 35. I was in heat. I got me a young man.
Your Honor.
That I thought they can satisfy my needs. So, hey, you know, no, I was not thinking about that.
Wait a minute. I thought dogs go in heat.
Okay, I was.
You didn't mean you were in heat. You just meant that your hormones were raging.
My hormones was there, and I thought if I give me a young man, he can handle it.
Oh, and he's a much younger man.
Much younger.
I'm about 11 years.
So you figured, let me
But
find...
he couldn't handle it.
So you were interested in him because
not for his sex. No.
I know, but you said your hormones were
That's
raging.
exactly what she wanted.
I said my hormones was
And
up
if you
there.
thought if you got you a younger man, he could handle you. Because you...
rock the boat.
He could go overtime with you.
Your
And
Honor.
then it didn't work out like that?
It didn't work out.
Your
it
Honor.
didn't work out like that.
So that's why the marriage is really ending.
No, the marriage is ending because he has anger problems. And he did some damage to my place, to my property
What did he
that I
do?
worked it for, and I would like for him to pay for
Okay,
it.
what did he do? What did he damage?
He broke everything in my house, from TVs to lamps to pictures on the walls to antique type of things that I paid for to something that I wanted for myself.
You have some pictures there in your hand?
I have some pictures here, Your Honor.
And this is the damage that he
To
did?
CDs, Your Honors. I have a remote control, Your Honor, that cost $35 that he damaged. I have receipts. I have papers. I have a paper that I made an estimate on. I feel that he needs to replace the money for the damage that he caused, for the simple fact he probably have a comfortable place where he live at now. I have to live with how am I going to replace the damage that he did in the household without my manager seeing the damage that he did to the wall. Okay, in order for me to relocate somewhere else, I have to fix this lady property before she won't, so that she won't find out, so I can get my security deposit back. If I don't fix this thing, I'm not going to get my security deposit back, and I'm not going to be able to relocate in somebody else's place because they're going to think I have an anger problem that I'm going to damage their property.
Have you seen these pictures?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall any damage that you did to the property?
I do recall the
This
incident
time you
she's
didn't have
speaking
any
about.
rocks to throw in the desert, so did you just hit the walls?
No, ma'am, I didn't hit the walls.
What did you do?
What had happened was she came in and kept pushing my buttons and things like that, knowing that I would get angry. She went purposefully, knowing that I have a fear of going to jail because I'm a big guy and I'm white. There's a lot of gangbangers and drug dealers and stuff like that in jail. That's not where I want to be.
Drama.
But the whole point is she went back to the back.
a lot of gangbangers and drug dealers in jail. And,
But you didn't think about that when you
But
did
she
us
went
my
back
place.
purposefully.
Hold on a second. I got a catch on that one. A lot of gangbangers and drug dealers in jail, and I'm a big guy and I'm white. So what are you trying to say?
I'm saying if I'm a white man who goes to jail for fighting with a black lady, I'm not in a good position.
If you're a white man that goes to jail for fighting with a lady, if you're a black man that goes to jail for fighting with a lady, if you're purple, green, any kind of man for going to jail for fighting with a lady, you're probably not in a good position.
Exactly.
Because it's just not good.
But I
it has
don't
nothing
do that,
to do
Your
with
Honor.
your race.
I was not fighting with her, and she went back intentionally
She didn't
and
say
called,
you were fighting with her. She said you damaged the property.
She called the police. This is before that. She called the police and told them that I was abusing her, was hitting her, and things like this for them to come over and get me out of her house. And I hadn't laid hand one on her.
He's lying. He would have went to jail.
Not necessarily so. I have one question. Did you damage the property because you were so angry at this woman who you said was pushing your buttons?
Yes,
because you're
ma'am.
a big guy and you were trying to avoid going to jail. Being white, you may get hurt, you know.
I redirected my anger onto an inanimate object rather than a person, Your Honor.
And just because you destroyed these inanimate objects as opposed to a human person, you think that that was okay. And that was controlling your anger.
Your Honor. I didn't say that it was right. I just think that it's a better thing to redirect to an inanimate object than it is to a person.
You know what? I think it's a better thing to control the anger altogether and don't direct it to...
He could have went out the door and took a walk.
You're welcome.
That's the next step, Your Honor. That's the next step, Your Honor, but I hadn't made it there, and I'm still working on getting to that.
You know, it is a good thing that you don't hit a person. But tearing up property, destroying walls, destroying televisions is still a sign of lack of anger control. And do you know that the landlord and the owner of that property could still have you arrested for destroying the property just because you didn't hit her and didn't get arrested for domestic violence? You could get arrested for destruction of property, and you could still find yourself in jail with those gangbangers.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
So you need to be aware of that. All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have receipts of some of the things that he damaged, and I'm
And
quite
you
sure
said you
it was
had an
more.
entire list of things that had been damaged?
And I'm quite sure it's more. I have estimates, Your Honor, where he needs to pay for them to get these things repaired. And by him damaging the TVs that I purchased, I had to go out and buy another TV, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
and
you
I feel
did.
like CDs.
Now, what happened with the CDs?
Oh, when he threw his tantrum through the house, I had a rack of CDs. He just took his feet and kicked them down like this a couple of times. And I mean, I had over 50 CDs there.
So it's a total of $685 in damages that you've done in terms of breaking things. Was any of this owned before you married her?
I think one of the TVs was, and the CDs, because it's all that man-hating music. But so I don't listen to that.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
Oh, please, woman, close your mouth. This marriage started over the food and the drink, and now you want me to end it over the rib bone.
And an update on the case of Heather King versus Thomas King.
What were you fighting about?
She had pictures of guys lifting up her shirt, playing with her boobs.
Whoa!
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back in the case of Sherry Fortune, who says she's divorcing her husband, Kerry, because he can't keep up with her sexually.
Your Honor, I have some ribs on there that need to be reversed, too. I would like to be reimbursed for that, too.
Some what?
Some ribs.
What are you talking about?
I made some ribs, and during the time of his anger, he threw a big old slab of ribs.
Are you talking about ribs that you eat?
I want him
as a
to
meat?
pay back
Oh,
for
please,
my
woman,
ribs.
close your
Why
mouth.
not?
Oh, now you have just gotten to be.
Why not?
Oh,
Come on, I want my money.
you know, I know you love to eat and you like food, but please, I am not going to reimburse you for any rib bones that he threw
I
away.
don't see why not. I paid for them.
Please, are you serious? This marriage started over the food and the drink, and now you want me to end it over the rib bones. I'm not going to do that. Replace the destroyed and damaged property to the tune of $685. If you went through the house destroying stuff, I'm going to assume that everything on here that was destroyed, and it's not a lot.
That's understandable.
$685, you're going to reimburse her. You're going to pay it within the next 30 days, and the damage to the property itself, the walls and the floors, if you can pay somebody to repair it, subtract that from the other damages, the other property here, all right?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
the order of the court. Go buy your own rib bones.
I can now.
All rise.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Heather King versus Thomas King.
Excuse me, I'm talking. Shut up.
Don't tell him to shut up. I'm the only one who tells somebody to shut up in this courtroom.
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Heather King said her marriage to Thomas fell apart because he was jealous of her ex-boyfriends.
Excuse me, I'm talking. Shut up.
Don't tell him to shut up. I'm the only one who tells somebody to shut up in this courtroom. What were you fighting about?
Basically stuff that she had, you know, finding pictures of naked guys.
X-rated type pictures?
She had pictures of guys lifting up her shirt, playing with her boobs.
Whoa!
And he was obsessed with his reptile collection.
What type of reptile collection are we talking about?
Red-tailed boas, Burmese pythons, savanna monitors.
Oh my goodness, let me see.
That's a big snake.
Thing weighs more than I
A
do.
big snake.
Thomas said he sold his beloved snakes for next to nothing so that he and Heather could move. And he wanted Heather to pay him the $3,000 difference. The judge decided that Heather did not have to pay Thomas any money because she also sold her possessions to help pay for the move. Thomas says he recently bought a new car and is busy looking for more snakes for his new reptile collection. Heather says she's glad her new boyfriend is not a reptile lover and she is following her dream to become a model.
I thought it was a fair decision, you know, because I was angry and I'd done some things and I'm still working on my anger management. This decision was very fair.
He had no business throwing my ribs on the floor that I purchased and I cooked and I wanted to eat them, especially working all day, all night. I was hungry. So I think I should have been rewarded for my ribs. I paid for them.
It's just the way it goes, you know.